Ah, come closer, my boy. The night's cold and the fire's low. Perfect time for a story, not just any story, no. This one's older than the stars, deeper than the roots of the earth. It's about a world that died and somehow kept on living. A story of friendship, loss, and the strange kind of magic that hides in the ruins of the past. You've heard of the Land of Ooo, haven't you? Ah, maybe not. Few remember it now. It was a place of wonders, talking candy, ice kingdoms, vampire queens, and the faint smell of something ancient in the air. But before Ooh, my boy, there was something else, something we once called Earth. Yes, the same Earth beneath our feet, though it wasn't green and quiet back then. It was broken, burned. The skies were red, the oceans black. The Mushroom War had ended it, a war so fierce, so foolish, that it tore the world apart. Cities turned to dust, men to memories, and hope. Well, hope was buried with the rest. But even after all that destruction, the world wouldn't stay dead. No, life's too stubborn for that. The war had changed things, twisted them. Magic, the old kind, the forgotten kind, seeped back into the ground. It flowed through rivers and stones, through the air itself. The world started again, but not the same. And from that new, strange earth came creatures of all kinds, some beautiful, some terrible. Candy people who laughed and sang, talking animals with wisdom in their eyes, living lumps of fire, ice, and shadow. The humans were gone, or nearly so. But there was one boy, just one, who would grow up to be something special. His name was Finn. Ah, Finn the human. Brave, foolish, kind. The last spark of what we used to be. And beside him, his brother in all but blood, Jake the dog. A magical hound with a laugh as warm as summer, who could stretch himself into any shape he pleased. Together, they roamed the Land of Ooo, chasing adventure like it was the only thing worth living for. Every morning, Finn would leap out of bed, sword in hand, shouting, "Adventure time!" And off they'd go, fighting monsters, saving princesses, exploring dungeons, making friends and enemies alike. Oh, they lived loudly, those two. But the world, my boy, it's never as simple as it seems. Even in the bright colors of Ooo, there were shadows. Deep ones. One of those shadows wore a crown. The Ice King, he called himself, though he wasn't born a king. Once he was a man named Simon Petrikov, a scholar who found a strange cursed crown. It whispered to him, promised him power, and in his desperation to protect the woman he loved, he put it on. The magic gave him strength, but it took his mind. It froze his heart. He forgot who he was, forgot her name, forgot everything, except the loneliness. He became the Ice King, and though he kidnapped princesses and muttered to penguins, there was still a fragment of Simon inside, crying to be free. Then there was Princess Bubblegum, ruler of the Candy Kingdom. Brilliant, calculating, her heart split between love and duty. She built her world from sweetness and science, yet she was often colder than the Ice King himself. And Marceline the Vampire Queen, she was different. She carried the songs of the old world in her soul, songs of pain and memory. She'd lived for centuries, watched the world fall and rise again. And though she laughed, she was always a little sad inside. All of them, boy, all of them were survivors of a broken age. But nothing lasts forever. Not peace, not laughter, not even Ooh. Deep beneath it all, there was something ancient, something that remembered the war, something that wanted it all to end. The Lich, he was death-given thought, the last echo of mankind's destruction. He had no warmth, no mercy, no heart, only hunger. He wanted one thing, to end all life. When Finn faced him, he trembled, but he stood. That's what makes a hero, lad. Not the absence of fear, but standing tall in spite of it. With Jake by his side, Finn fought the Lich in the darkest corners of the world. They won for a time. But evil like that, it never really dies. It just waits. Years went by. The world kept turning, new wars came, old wounds reopened. There was the Gum War when Princess Bubblegum fought against her uncle Gumbald, who sought to reclaim the Candy Kingdom. Brother turned against sister, creation against creator. And Finn, poor lad, stood between them, begging them to stop, to remember the love they once shared. But war doesn't listen, boy. It never does. In the chaos, Finn and Jake turned to dream magic, tried to reach the hearts of their enemies through their fears. But not all hearts can be saved. Finn's old friend Fern, twisted by darkness and envy, fell in that battle. His last wish was to be planted, to grow again, as something better. Finn buried him beneath the roots of their treehouse, and from that grave grew a tree unlike any other. But the war wasn't the end. No, the true end came when the sky itself opened, and Golb appeared. Ah, Golb, a god of chaos, older than time, the destroyer and the creator all in one. His very presence bent reality, turned good men into monsters, memories into nightmares. Finn, Jake, Simon, and a woman named Betty faced him. Betty loved Simon. Loved him so much that she'd cross the universe to save him. And when she realized there was no saving him without sacrifice, she made her choice. She merged herself with Golb, wished for Simon's safety, and vanished into eternity. The others sang, all of Ooo sang. A song called Come Along With Me. Their voices rose like a prayer, weaving hope through the fabric of destruction. And just like that, Golb withdrew. The chaos faded, but not without cost. The world was changed forever. When the dust settled, the old heroes stood together, tired but smiling. They looked out over the land of Ooo, broken, rebuilt, and still beautiful. Jake, old and wise now, turned to Finn and said, "Adventure time's never really over, buddy. It just changes." And Finn nodded, eyes glistening. "Yeah, man, let's go see what's next." And that's how their story ended, or so it seemed. But the land moved on. 1,000 years passed. The heroes became legends, their names half remembered in songs and carvings. New adventurers rose, a cat named Beth and a little boy called Shermie. They wandered the ruins of Ooo, curious and bright, like Finn and Jake once were. One day they found something, an old arm, metal and rusted. They followed its trail to the great tree grown from Fern's seed. And inside that tree they found the Finn sword, still shining faintly in the gloom. They climbed to the top, where the wind roared and the sun painted the sky in gold. There they met BMO, old and worn, sitting on a throne made of memories. And BMO told them the story you're hearing now, the tale of Finn and Jake, of love and loss, of life after the end of the world. When BMO finished, the little ones looked out at the horizon. The trees swayed beneath them, the wind whispered softly through its leaves, and they smiled, because they knew adventure wasn't gone. It was waiting for them. And that, my boy, is how it ends. Or maybe, how it begins again. You see, stories like these, they don't die. They just change faces, change names. Every time someone laughs in the face of danger, every time a friend stands beside another, every time a song is sung when the night feels too long, that's adventure time all over again. Now close your eyes. The fire's dying, and the stars are listening. If you dream tonight, maybe you'll see it. The Land of Ooo. The candy fields, the mountains of fire and ice, the treehouse swaying under a golden sky. Maybe you'll hear laughter, the echo of two brothers running off toward the horizon. And if you listen closely, you might hear it, that old familiar tune. Adventure time. Come on, grab your friends. Heh, go on, lads, sleep now. The world's still out there, waiting for its next hero.